private view.
Hello, and welcome back to what's this? It's Hero Live. Yeah, welcome back to our live segment. I hope I am giving you some good information during your lunch break. And earlier we talked about market updates, where prices will be going for HDB market, where I feel prices will be going for private property market. There was a comment earlier by Afiq Omar. He was saying Pakcik will never sell his house because prices are going to be dropping. Actually, it's true. I mean, if you know of anyone who is thinking of selling their flat, please tell them this is the time to lock in the best profits that they can ever see in the next 5 to 10 years. After that, prices for HDB flat prices are just going to go down. Now, after this, we're going to be talking about a property that our team is selling and how we are pricing the unit. We are overpricing the unit. I'm going to tell you why and what's going to happen after that. Elfie is not with me here today, but he's watching and he commented. He said, "Bro, any thoughts on overseas property?" She got no thoughts. Could it be a viable option for someone wanting to invest in a property but maybe just outpriced in Singapore? I think what he's trying to say is, a lot of Singaporeans, we do have some savings that we want to invest in a second property. And because of additional buyer stamp duties in Singapore, it kind of stops us from buying a second property. I would have to say that property market, as a professional in the property scene, I realized that my knowledge is very hyper-localized, and a lot of property agents around the world, their knowledge is so hyper-localized. That means they only know, I only know about Singapore, mostly. For me to talk about overseas properties, I really need to invest a lot of time in that. That said, I did apply for, I did ballot for a New Zealand property a few months ago. I didn't get it because the market was so hot back then. I think it is viable. You don't have to pay any stamp duties overseas. You don't have to pay additional buyer stamp duties. You can get rental. You can get... it's just an alternative. But of course, you have to do a lot of due diligence before you enter the market. And then we have a YouTube comment by Clinton Lim, the guy working with us. He's asking, what are my thoughts on the upcoming Lentor Modern? I think we have to see what the price... what the price point comes up to be. I've been to the show flat already. It's like amazing layout. I think the finish is really, the developers are out there to wow a lot of buyers. But don't get caught up emotionally when buying a property. Look at the numbers, have a lot of data ready before you pull the trigger. I think if it's going to be if you can find units in 2000, 2001 per square foot range, I know it's going to be very unlikely, but that would make it a good deal. Okay, very similar to Amo Residences and all that. Lentor is a bit ulu. Lentor is like before Yishun, somewhere there, northern area. But you do have an MRT right at your doorstep. You have a good size of mall on your first floor. So I think that's something to consider. But location-wise, I think it's not one of the best locations. If it's good price, then why not? Now, let's continue with our segment. Mahi, let's show the next. All right. So we're here. That was the video earlier, and I'm going to be showing this. Now, this is the exact same property that you saw before the break. During the break, you saw a video that we flashed. Now, this is on the market for 1.35 million. It is a 3-bedroom, 1,050 square feet. That's equivalent to your 4-room HDB BTO today. And I'm not going to beat around the bush, all right? This is my property. This is my house. I'm selling it at 1.35. I bought it 3 years ago, and it's time for me to exit. I think there's good profits there already for myself, and move on to a next better performing property. Now, at 1.35, question is it a good deal for the seller or for the buyer? Okay, of course which seller doesn't want to have a good deal, right? At 1.35, it really is a good deal. But now let me show you some things that you as a buyer should consider. Okay, now in the area, I just did this search yesterday. Okay, so this is 17 August yesterday. Today is 18 August. 17 August. These are listings, available listings on Property Guru. All 1,000 square feet, 1,001 square feet. You see the prices: 1.4, 1.45, 1.3, 1.7 mil. So it does make my property at 1.35 look cheap. Am I right? It's going to be a good deal for you. Am I right? No. It's not going to be a good deal for you at 1.35. Okay? I'm going to be very honest here about my own property that I'm trying to sell. Okay, end of the day, it's willing seller, willing buyer. Whatever I share the same to a lot of my the buyers that come over to the property. You cannot just look at prices of units in the market in the area alone. You also have to look at prices of the properties sold within the estate in the last 6 months, in the last 1 year, and see the price trend. So I think you can see on screen today. Let me see. Okay, you can see. I want you to focus on the price. I placed a red color tick there. Now look at last year's prices. It's like going at 900 plus PSF, 800 plus PSF. All right, then slowly it is inching up. All right, sometime in early this year, sometime in February, March, you no longer see units being sold below 1,000 per square foot. Now to put things in context, my unit is 1,055 square feet. If I sell it for 1,000 per square foot, I will get 1.055. 1.055, yet I'm listing it at 1.35. 300,000 above market transactions. So is it still a good deal for the buyer? Not really. All right. So you really have to look at market transactions. Now, I'm really a seller. I'm really selling. I'm not trying to fake things and all that. Okay. So, but I do, you will see that there are some units which sell at future value. Now, what do I mean? Now, just take a look at the bottom half. All right. You'll see that most units were being sold at 900, 800 per square foot. But there'll be 1 or 2 units which were transacted above 1,000 PSF, ahead of its time. All right. So we have to see where the market sentiment is right now, and we have to see whether is it really worthwhile to pay above market rate. Today, I mean, just ask any of my clients, I'm telling them it's okay to pay above market rate, slightly above market rate, not too far off, because it's a matter of time when a neighbor catches up with you. All right. So today, all right, when you see everyone else selling in Belysa for 1,050, 1,001 per square foot, all right, I think I can sell for slightly above market rate. I can sell for a slight future price of maybe 1,002 per square foot. I'm hopeful. Also, I'm also a seller, but when I put my agent hat on, I know that it's possible. Okay, so at 1.35, definitely it's not a realistic amount for a seller. I tried because our own clients will engage us saying that, hey, you know what, let's just try to put a high price. I know for a fact that it won't work. Okay, I'm trying out for myself, doing my best, and it is not working. All right, so if you try to search on Property Guru today, you will not find my listing. Maybe later this week, today is already Thursday, Friday. Maybe next week, I will list it up again. At what price? Maybe at 1,001, 1.1 mil and above, 1.15 mil and above. Maybe I'll start at 1150 PSF and above. That means whoever comes in to view the property, I'll tell them that you cannot make any offers below this price. I'm only accepting prices above this amount, and then we'll talk. And that strategy has been working very well for my team in the past 8 to 12 months. All right, because the market is still quite hot, and as I've shared before the break, private property prices will continue rising over the next 2 to 3 years. Until 2026, you'll see a spike because there's a shortage of properties in 2026. So I feel that there'll be a buyer who's willing to pay because there's no more options. Because the only options he has in the market today, 1.4 mil, 1.5 mil, right? They're all around the same size, right? Asking per square foot, 1,003, 1,250 PSF, 1,004 PSF. Woo! All right. So now that's I'm sharing with you two sides of the coin. From a seller's point of view and from a buyer's point of view, what you should be looking at, right, to make it a good deal for you. If you can get it at 1.1 mil, all right. Let's go back to the transactions. All right. If you can get a 1,055 for 1.15, you can see it's actually really well within range of market value. Now that's a good deal for you. If you can get a unit which is just slightly above market rate today, still a good value to you. Okay, now, if you have any questions, any comments, all right, please type that into the in the comments sections, please. Now, this will be the last slide that I'll be sharing with you for this topic. I know it looks like a very weird drawing, huh? Okay, but this concept I'm trying to share with you is called the exit strategy. When I purchased this property, my exit strategy was, because I was thinking I was going to hold for like maybe 5, 7, 8 years. All right, and I had a feeling that I was going to be selling, or the buyer that was going to be buying from the future buyer of my property would be coming from Tampines North, just across the street. The red circle that I drew is Tampines North, the 2 arrows pointing at Belysa. Okay, so people from Tampines North, they are going to be hitting their MOP this year. And then there are some estates which haven't even collected their keys. They're going to collect their keys this year, next year, in 2 years, in 3 years' time. And then they have to wait for another 5 years before they hit MOP. Then they can sell. And when they sell at MOP, usually they sell for a big profit. And when they have big profits, they want to upgrade to a private property. What options are there? There's Belysa. All right. So that was my exit strategy. And I can tell you, the people who has been viewing my property, even though I listed at a crazy price, they are all HDB upgraders. Most of them were BTO upgraders. As I talked to them, I found out. Now, we need, whatever property we buy, we must have an idea who we want to sell to, who will be willing to pay a premium over your own purchase price in future. All right. Without knowing that, you're just buying emotionally. You're just buying a property just because you like it, without understanding who will be buying from you in future. And this is an important concept to have, whatever property that you purchase, whether you're buying a HDB, whether you're buying a resale condo, or whether you're buying a new launch condo. For example, schools-wise in Belysa, I mean, we do have Pasir Ris Park, we have Elias Park Primary, but I wouldn't say they are big draw as compared to maybe Gongshang in Tampines, or St. Hilda's in Tampines, or even Aitong, or St. Nicholas in Ang Mo Kio. There's an Amo Residences which sold very well, I believe, because of the schools also. But I feel in Pasir Ris, a lot of the condos will do well over the next few years when we have a very big catchment of BTO upgraders. That's my thoughts. All right. In the comments, someone is asking, how old is Belysa? I think Belysa is just 8 years. I bought it when it was 5 years old. It's been 3 years, so it's 8 years today. Wow, yeah, good question. What is a good age? Someone is asking, what is a good age for a condo for us to look or buy? Ideally, all right, if money is not an option, buy a new launch lah. You know, because that's 0 years old. You can buy a property that is fresh, virgin, you know. Then as the property grows older, then we have to see value of the property against other projects, you know, in the area. Let's say if you're buying a 20-year-old project in Pasir Ris, okay, if it's big enough and it's going for maybe just under 1 mil, when a 8-year-old project is going for 1.1 mil, I think that the gap is big enough for the 20-year-old property to be of a better value, in fact, sometimes, okay? Because when we see supply and demand of all properties in Singapore, we do see the resale prices tend to go up together lah. Doesn't matter whether you're brand new or old. Let me just explain. Maybe I'm over-explaining already. We'll keep it short. All right, these are all the resale prices over the past 2 years. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you're a new project or you're a very old condo. When the national average goes up, your property, whether it's a 20-year-old property, also increases in value. I've done the search. Whitewater, 20 years old. I think North Oaks in Woodlands, 20 years old, also making profits over the last 1 to 2 years. All right, but ideally, if the older projects are making a lot of money, then the younger projects will make even more. Okay, so coming to the end of my live segment, let me just see whether I missed out on any questions here. No questions. Any comments? No comments. I'm going to end very soon. Thanks for staying on. Today's segment is shorter, faster, no banter, just me talking alone. Do hope that I've provided a very enjoyable 20-minute session for you. If you have any questions, please list them down. Maybe I'll address them next week. Maybe in 2 weeks' time. We'll see, but we'll do it on Thursdays. So Thursdays, lunchtime is when we do our live. Take note, and I will see you in the next episode.
A private view.